but we had always done some consulting work with clients. And what we found is during COVID, clients were coming to us for a lot more questions than they had been before. And it was starting to evolve. And we were starting to get more questions about, can you do some more services for us in the area of controllership or in the area of bookkeeping? And so we started this journey kind of organically. And then about a year to 18 months ago, we really started putting some power behind it and figuring out that if we were going to do this service, we should do it not like a typical accounting firm, but more like a client advisory services firm. And to do that, we had to open up the toolbox and get some extra tools and not do it in the typical way that an accountant would do it, but more so in the way of how our internal CFOs or internal controllers working on this, how can we provide more value to a customer or a client? But in these services, we were really getting to know the clients and their business internally from the inside out. And in order to do these services the right way, you have to understand what they are trying to accomplish, where they are today, where they want to go, and how you can fill that gap in between. So we really got down into the relationship part of the clients. And for us as a firm, we've been in business for 75 years. We've always had long-term relationships with clients, but this was just giving that more power. It was creating these questions that we were asking about how they do their daily operations. And in order to do these services and understand what they're doing, you have to be able to understand how they operate on a daily basis. So we really got a lot more intimate with the clients. And then from the technology side, we had to have a game changer. We had to have something that was going to differentiate us from any other accounting firm in our area or our space, or even in the country, that could just say, hey, we do these client advisory services. At this point in the industry, I feel like you see client advisory services a lot, but you have to understand what you're doing with them. And for us, going with Jirav and finding the tool that would allow us to not only do the services that we provide from a relationship base, but actually have a set of tools that the dashboarding, the reporting, the forecasting, giving clients something more than they had before, or more than they even thought that they needed or could get as a CEO or an owner, understanding the data. But, I thought we were walking into a software relationship, which was fantastic, but getting that other piece of it and having the team that's been behind me and Drab has been fantastic. And then the software itself, being able to show clients, here's a dashboard of what's happening. Here's real-time data dashboard. Here's a report packet and standardized and systematic, which we heard. Here is forecasting. What we've seen with the clients that we're serving right now is forecasting was never a thought for them until we open their eyes to them to show it and say, not only can we show you historically what's been happening with your company, but we can even help you plan and make strategic decisions for the future. So this journey has been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's given me energy again at work. The compliance work is great. Transactional work is great, but sometimes it's good to get energized about something new. And for me, this whole CAS area, working with Jirav, has really energized me to move forward with the program. Process is not my strong suit. I'm a big thinker. I like the ideas. I like figuring out what the solutions are and then kind of working with the team to figure those out. But this is definitely not a sprint. It's definitely not a light switch. I think you're seeing a lot of firms out there getting into this space, but I would say that if you're going to get into this space, finding a team to work with to kind of go on that marathon journey with you, to work the process through, is the way to go, because otherwise I think you're without the tools that you need.